Expo is the ultimate Disney fan event coming to Orlando, and it includes some of your favorite Disney stars. This includes Boo Boo Stewart from Descendants, a Hocus Pocus reunion featuring Doug Jones, Jason Marsden, Tobias Jelnick, and Larry Bagby. Pixar film star John Ratzenberger and Bill Farmer. This event also includes panels, photo ops, a costume contest, over 80 vendors, and much more. House of Mouse Expo will take place November 27th and 28th. Tickets now on sale at houseofmouseexpo.com.
And we're live. My computer froze up. I didn't know where we were.
Hello, I'm in Delaware. Welcome, Michele and Scott Atwood from the Main Street Mouse.
Hi, thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. We're really excited about this, to have you guys on and talk about all sorts of good stuff. The Main Street Mouse, the House of Mouse Expo, and whatever else comes up. You never know.
You never know. That's fine.
Happy Saturday, everybody. We're live, and whoever's out there, if you could just share us out, we'd appreciate it. Give us some love. We're also streaming on YouTube now. I turned my whatever YouTube thing into a channel, and now we're on YouTube as well. So more ways to watch. Hi from Michigan.
Michigan. Yay, that's our home state.
Yeah, I know. You guys are from Michigan. And I forget. Oh, yeah. So Lily John, she's in Michigan.
Yes. Yeah, she's one of our followers. Hi, Lily.
Yeah. Yep. I see Donald Nicholson is there. Donald and Marie.
Hi.
Donald.
Yeah.
And Katie from Poppin' the
Katie.
Popcorn.
Hi,
Hey, Katie, what's going on?
And Kim.
Hi, Kim.
There's a Kim in the show tonight. Hi, Kim. So yeah, welcome. We're gonna do our sponsorship stuff up front, and then we'll get into like everything. We have I think like a snazzy little PowerPoint presentation with all the or most of the guests and stuff, I think. So Stan, do you want to just jump right into the deal of the week?
Float the monorail?
You want to float the monorail, and I'll pull up
the monorail.
Oh god, did I load the I think I loaded the deal of the week.
Here we go.
Alrighty, here. Thanks for floating the monorail. We have from our DVC Dash rental sponsors, Scott Ferrioli and company. Remember the Dash to save the cash. We have a great deal. Another Animal Kingdom villas at Jumbo House Deluxe Studio, Savannah View. I mean, if you're going to go to Animal Kingdom, you should stay Savannah View. This is a room that sleeps 4 people plus 1 infant. Check-in is on January 30th. Checkout is on Feb 4th, so a total number of 5 nights. Total cost is $1,922. And for that price, not only are you staying at Animal Kingdom, but right out your Savannah, there's animals. So beautiful view, beautiful resort. And I think that you guys should, someone should check it out. Someone should go take this deal and tell them that the folks over at Now That's Disney Night Live sent you. Get in touch with Scott at dvc-rental.com, please. Also, check them out all over social media. DVC-rental is all over, as well as buyandselldvc.com, the other portion of their business in which you could buy and or sell a resale DVC contract. So that's what we got tonight for the deal of the week.
That's a really good deal. That's like
fantastic
over
deal.
$1,000 off the regular price.
Yeah, Scott and Michelle, have you guys ever stayed at Animal Kingdom?
Long time ago.
Yeah, long time
Yeah.
ago, back in 11, I think.
I think it was
10
2011.
years ago
Yeah,
we were
it was a
there.
long time ago, but it was really nice. It
It's
was
Probably
really
paid the
pretty.
same price that long ago.
Yeah.
Right. Boom.
Yeah, I emailed Scott a couple of weeks ago. He got back to me almost immediately. I
Yeah.
answered all my questions.
Right. Oh, so Scott Ferrioli. Yeah. So yes.
I answer all emails right away also. Maybe
Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I was gonna be like, good for you.
Right. Michelle looks shocked. Yeah, it's a generalization that anyone named Scott responds to their emails very quickly. So
It's a reputation.
That's one of the rules when you're born being a Scott.
Right,
Yeah, you're holding,
You have to answer
you're holding
emails
up for
right
all
away.
Scots. Yeah.
You can't
Yeah.
disappoint, you know?
Oh yeah, real quick too. I want to make sure that we tell our viewers, please go check out our friends over at dmagicworld.com, 24/7 streaming Disney Magic music. Another cool highlight is that you choose what they play. Get in touch with them at dmagicworld.com and they will put it on their playlist. Again, Disney music, parks music, parades, shows like attraction rides, like Jungle Cruise, like the wait thing that goes on there, whatever you want to call that, but it's really funny. So dmagicworld.com.
It's so good when you're settling in for a long day of work and want to be somewhere else.
Yeah, that's me every day at work, and that's what I do. Yeah, exactly right. Yeah, so that's what I do. I just sit in my office and everybody's like, are you listening to Disney music? I'm like, I'll fight you.
Yeah.
So now that we got that out of the way, let's talk about Main Street Mouse and the House of Mouse Expo and how. So Main Street Mouse, how long have you guys been doing the Main Street Mouse? Like when did that come about?
You go ahead.
Oh, I have to. Okay. Well, we've officially done it since 2010. We had the idea a couple years before that when we were at we're at Studios. Yes. Okay. Because I know if I say Epcot or something, that he's gonna. So I was like, no, it's the wrong park. So we were at the Studios and we were talking about, this is before Facebook was a big thing, or actually.
I don't know if it was
Like MySpace was kind of going out the door. Facebook just was starting. And, I've always been a lifelong Disney fan. I mean, my mother was a teacher and when I was like 2, she bought me Disney books and taught me how to read like Disney stuff. So we're talking like.
So it's in the blood. Yeah.
It is. And we were talking about there's got to be very naive of me to say, by the way, but there's got to be other Disney fans out there that just want to talk and, compare their trips and share their family pictures and their memories and stuff. So that's kind of where the Main Street Mouse came from, was just about reaching out to other Disney fans. So, people that have stuff in common with you.
Right.
So that's where that came from. And then the rest, it just kind of turned into something bigger than I ever imagined it to. It was just a happen. It was just a way for me to reach out to people and find people that were like me, basically. So, and here we are.
The hard part was we were building that while we were working our full-time jobs. So we would work all day, full-time jobs, come home, work another full-time job where we didn't get paid. So,
Right. Yeah.
Right.
and we did that.
Oh, I know about that.
But that's a part of the Disney passion, right? Because that's where I know, Stan's been doing podcasts for a long time and Jason's done podcasts. And, I started now that's Disney, because I love so many Disney groups and what it entails in that community. So that's why we're doing this show on Saturdays. And yeah, it's a Disney passion.
Did the Wonder Bread people ever get back to you about this background?
Yeah,
We don't have the blue in there. That's what keeps us away from
Yeah,
that.
we
Oh,
didn't
okay.
No
so-
blue. So we kept away.
Yeah.
they're actually not allowed to talk about that legally right now.
We'll have to delete and cut that part out.
It's my fault. I'm like, polka dots would be fun. Let's do polka dots.
Polka dots are great.
It's not my fault. It's my fault.
I've been following your guys' page for years. I
Yeah.
love your guys' page.
Thank you.
Thank you so
I
much.
really appreciate that. It's a labor of love, that's for sure.
It shows.
Yeah, we never dreamed it would get to where it's at, though. We never imagined leaving Michigan and moving to Florida because of the page. We just never. I mean, we dreamt about it. We're like, oh, maybe Disney will buy our site one day. We'll have lots of money. We can move to Florida, and that never happened. But
Well, no, oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's mean, I really am a pusher of, taking risks. And, if you really believe in like, passion and what you do, or if there's a dream that you have, as cliche as it sounds, you have to at least try, because I think that not trying and having that regret is so much worse than actually trying and failing.
So, right, exactly.
Like you have to be, I don't never consider myself brave. I had to come over a lot of fears to do what we do, cover media events and do all these things. And I still have my times where I, have that doubt, but I'm so glad that you kind of shove that fear to the side and try it anyway, because you just don't know. You just don't know. So that's my good feeling message for you all.
No, it's a good message, because I mean, you started it because what you guys love Disney, right? And you probably seen all like these other groups, and like not a lot of people were doing it, but it was out there. Like there's people like us and people like me, and I know RJ's watching tonight, who like are like, oh, it's the Main Street Mouse, like, and like that's where you guys are at now. So that's where you are in the Disney community. Like it's really well known. So you've gotten to that level of, kind of like years ago when you first started it to where you are now. I mean, so you did. Hey, there he is. His name. He says, "I'm here." I told him to make sure he had his name there.
That's my friend RJ that I talk about.
I figured it.
Yeah.
And Kim, I love your wife too, David.
I love her too. Yeah.
She is one of my favorites. She's awesome.
Thanks.
Just want to throw it out there. That's all.
Thank you so much. I know that means a lot to me. No, she's a great person and a great soul. And I went to school. Well, I mean, I grew up in Roselle Park, which is a small town in New Jersey, and went to school with RJ's dad. So that's how I know RJ. So when I started the group, RJ's like, he just reached out to me. He's like, I'm gonna be an admin in your group. There was like no choice. So yeah.
That's the best.
Right.
This is what we're gonna do.
Yeah, this is the plan.
I'm here, you're stuck with me.
Right, exactly.
If you like it or not.
But sometimes those are the best kind of friends to have.
Mhm.
And it's kind of hard to find, especially in the line of work that we do, people that genuinely care about you for you and believe in what you do. So I think stuff like that is wonderful, actually.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
I mean, you talked about like so like Disney events, right? Like going to something like the 50th celebration. Like, is that still nerve-wracking for you guys there's so many people in that Disney community, and so many important people like that we all know because we're into Disney. So
Yeah.
it's still like nerve-wracking to be there, and
It's the tech issues you worry about more than anything.
Yeah.
I think
That
it's worrying
you
about
worry about.
that I worry about. Yeah, I worry about camera not working right, or just whatever we're missing. If we forgot to bring a microphone, or if we've got to bring a light, or whatever it is we need, because you never know once we get there exactly what we're going to need. Because a lot of times we get a rough itinerary. This is what we're going to do, but we have no idea once we get in that room how things are going to be. So we kind of have to carry basically a small studio with us.
yeah, I would think, yeah, right.
You never know what we're going to encounter when we get there.
Yeah. Oh, Kim's got a question.
Do you guys do that every time you travel to Disney? Do you have to bring like a whole studio with you just in case?
Usually we don't. Now, if we plan to just go for, well, I'd like to say fun, but we always end up working over there. When it's a media event, that's when we make sure we have everything. If we're just going for a day to go to the parks and we're taking the boys with us, we just take our phones basically and battery packs, and we do our.
I'll tell you though, speaking of nerve-wracking, I don't know, it's for the 50th. It was like a 4-day thing for me, and I had to do it by myself. And one of those things was I got invited to do the, I don't know if you guys saw any of the coverage I did. It was for Southwest Airlines when they did the plane reveal. There was only like 5 sites that were asked to go, and we were one of them. It was a huge blessing, but I was scared that I don't fly by myself, and I'm scared to fly. So when I opened, I just talk, I'm a mess. I'll just tell you guys how I. Okay, so I opened this email, and I read it, and I go, oh no, oh my God. And he's like,
I thought somebody passed away. The way
Right, like, what happened? What happened?
I'm sitting at my computer like this. And he's like, oh my God, what happened? I'm like, Disney wants me to fly to Texas for the day by myself. I can't go.
And I'm like, think about what you said. Oh,
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Rewind. What? I said, we're doing something for the 50th. They didn't tell me what it was. They told me I couldn't tell anybody. And all I knew was for Southwest Air, but I had no idea what I was going there for. I had a feeling it'd be the plane, but I didn't know that it was only a small group. I knew nothing, and I panicked. I panicked because I can't do this by myself. I can't go. I can't this and that. I hate flying. I never flew by myself, but you know what? I did it, and I did a good job at it. I was out there running underneath the plane because I was on a live feed, and I'm like, guys, look, we're gonna go under the wing. Let's go.
It's like Die Hard.
It was hilarious watching you doing that.
The best way to kill your fears is just do it.
Go big or go home. The back of the hangar lifted, and Mickey and Minnie are dancing, and Minnie's swirling her dress, and they're taking pictures of Mickey and Minnie, like the local press and stuff out there. And I'm like, what are you doing? There's a plane right there. Mickey and Minnie anytime. So I hauled my butt under that stupid plane, and I'm going around and around the plane, and everybody is going nuts online. But see, that's what fuels my soul, is that if I can share that kind of stuff with my followers, that I'm not doing this alone. I always tell my followers, I'm taking you along with me, because that's what we do. I always go live whenever I can, because I want them to feel that excitement with me, So, I mean, but long question, long answer to your question. Yes, I still get nervous. And that 50th thing, the itinerary was pretty rough. And, I didn't want to complain, because I'm very lucky that I get to do those things, but it is very tiring. It's very emotionally exhausting, because the Disney community is such a competitive field, and you want to make sure that you aren't just doing a good job for your audience, but at least for me, I want Disney to be proud of me and still have me come back and tell me I do a good job. So I put a lot of pressure on myself to do a good job. It's not him, it's not anybody else, it's me that does that to myself. So it is stressful, but I love it. And I flew by myself. That's all.
And she was texting me the whole time from the plane. She's texting me. I'm in the plane. She's like, a little bit of turbulence. I'm like, you're fine. You're gonna make it. And that was the only part of the 50th I could not be at least near her, because when we were in the park, of course, I could be outside the venues where she had to be or whatever. But on the plane, there was nothing. I had dropped her off at the airport. I picked her up the same day.
Praying.
It was rough. It was scary for her.
For that event, did they fly you back in that plane?
They did.
Yeah,
that's cool.
We didn't know that. So we're standing outside the plane, and the Southwest people hadn't even flown out yet. So they pull out, just like you see like somebody in like a celebrity or whatever, how they push the big stairs up to the plane, and they walk up and whatever else. And I recorded myself walking up those stairs, because I'm a big dork like that. I'm like, this is like celebrity stuff. Like you want to turn around and wave at people like you're
like the full queen wave.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I'm like, look at me. Oh my gosh. So, so on the plane, they had some of the team that did this plane stuff together, like the planning team. They actually had like a champagne toast on the plane with the Southwest employees, because they hadn't been on it either. So it was like the inaugural flight from Houston to Orlando, and there was only a handful of people on that plane. So
it's always fun to be the first one to fly in a plane, because it's safe.
It's a brand new plane. That plane is going to be the safest plane that's ever probably taken off, because Disney's involved, and they're going to make sure everything is good. They got all these influencers that are there, or media or whatever, covering it. That plane, I told her, I said, you're probably on the safest plane that day. I said, they're not all safe, but I'm just like, there's extra precautions taken to make sure.
I actually saw one of the higher ups at Disney just by chance in the park a couple days before that. One of my PR people. And I said, I'm going to the Southwest thing. I guess I could tell you. I'm not supposed to tell anybody. And he's like, I know you are, isn't it cool? And I said, I'm really afraid to fly. And then he goes, it'll be the safest plane. And I open my mouth. I don't think sometimes. I'm like, what a PR nightmare that would be, huh? What happened?
Think about it. Well, it's awful to think about. Like right at the start of the 50th, that would be bad press coverage.
That was not going to at all.
Like the cruise ship sinking on the.
You're right. That would be terrible.
It would not only be awful for you guys, but for Disney, would be like, wow. I can't believe we just went there.
We're gonna have to edit my collection. It's from Geeky Jerseys.
He didn't make this one. He's not repping us. He's repping somebody else.
I like this one. The baseball jersey is so nice, and it's so MCU. Guardians on the back says Quill 76.
Nice. Right. Yeah. You guys do clothing as Princess of Power, right?
Lost Princess Apparel.
Lost Princess Apparel, right? So you do it, yeah. So you've got the Main Street Mouse, you've got the Lost Princess Apparel.
Yeah.
You're doing Scentsy, Michelle, like Kim and John, right?
Yeah.
So you're selling the wax. I always say, Kim, you're gonna have to sell more wax.
Yeah, I kind of just do that. I don't know why I keep adding more projects to the plate, but I do like Scentsy just because they have Disney stuff, and John talked me into it. He's like, you keep doing this. So I did.
And those 4 hours of sleep we get at night, why
not? Right?
No, you don't need that. Cut it down to 3. Sell
Are you like me? If you're not busy, you're not alive.
Right, exactly. I don't even know what I would do. Like if I have too much of a downtime, I start to think, am I missing something? Did I forget to do something? You know, there's always something going on.
So then we had the Expo to the whole mix.
Right. So exactly, yeah. Life's not busy enough. Let's throw in an Expo, which is got to be a huge undertaking. And this is the first one that you guys are running on your own, right? You're in charge of this whole project.
We are.
We don't spare any expenses here. We put together a fancy PowerPoint for you guys. I just took some images and then I do a PowerPoint. I send it to Stan and he makes it better than I do. So
that's wonderful.
Awesome, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. It's a lot easier on StreamYard. Stan taught me that to do a PowerPoint presentation because then you're not covering up everybody's face.
Right. Yep. Yeah. That's what we use also StreamYard for a lot. I really like the use that it works great for what we do. So
yeah.
Oh, there's the Expo.
So the Expo's the 27th to 28th. We had
right.
Yep, the 27th, 28th. It's at the Embassy Suites, Lake Buena Vista South, which is it's roughly 5 miles from Disney Springs. It's if you know the area, it's between 192 and Osceola Parkway at Vineland. So just down the street from where the crossroads used to be. If you left,
or the outlets, like
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Down that way.
So it's a few miles south of that, so not too far from the property.
So it's convenient, right? So it's convenient for not only people that live in the area, but if people are visiting Disney World at that time or in the area, then they can also make it.
Exactly. We wanted to make it as easy for, because a lot of people who do come to Disney, they don't have transportation. Most of them, they take Magical Express from the airport to the hotel, and then they do that when they leave. So we make it close enough to where if they want to jump in an Uber, it's not that far, or something like that. And the shuttle, we're still working with the hotel. We're hoping to have a shuttle service from the hotel that's going to be running back and forth from Disney Springs.
Disney Springs, because it's right up the street. It's so close.
Yeah.
So
we're still working with them to get that. Hopefully have that finalized here by, I think it's by Wednesday.
I mean, it's 2 weeks from today. So, you know, we're cutting it down to the wire here. So we have to make sure that we have all our ducks in a row, so to speak, to make sure.
We have a pretty long list of ducks to
go.
And tickets are still on sale, so we want to make sure people know that, right? So is there a cutoff for buying tickets, or you could buy day of? Or
you can buy day of. We will have them at the door. They will be a little bit higher priced day of. You can still get them online up until the day of the Expo, and then they will be available at the door when you get there. If you buy them online, you'll get a barcode emailed to you. You just bring that, and that's what gets you in, gets you your pass at the front desk, and gets you to walk right in there.
Oh, cool. Okay, good. Yeah, I want to make sure people know that.
Yeah, we did
$35 is dirt cheap.
A great
for
deal.
a convention
for
like this.
Everybody you're meeting,
Yeah,
for the weekend, we thought that was the best deal. Because I know a lot of the conventions, the bigger ones, it's $40 or $50 for a day.
A day.
Yeah.
So we wanted to
easily.
So especially the first year, we wanted to make sure, because this first year we wanted to get the word out about it. We wanted everybody to come out there. We didn't want anybody to say, "Oh, those prices are kind of high for a first year."
Yeah.
And a lot of those things happen. A lot of people told us, "You'll never get big stars for your first year. You'll never get big names for your first year." And we're like, "Oh yeah."
Yes. Watch us.
Well, we never, because everybody told us that, "Oh, you're lucky you get 2 or 3 celebrities who will be there." And so we reached out to more, obviously, because we were like, if they don't make it, we want to have backups. And not one person told us no, which was just amazing. And actually, we had more reach out to us after the fact. They're like, "Oh, can I come? I'd love to be a part of this."
We had to tell people no, which was crazy because they only do so much. And you know, I had a lot of people ask us, and it's a good question. You guys are knocking it out of the park your first year. What are you going to do next year? You know, like we're already trying to think of, and you know, it's kind of a good thing because over the past since 2010 and, the relationships we've built with people and some of the opportunities that we've gotten to do, and people that we've interviewed and stuff, you have a good relationship with them. And then reaching out to these celebrities that you've already worked with, for me, it was really easy. I was still nervous, but like some of the guys from Hocus Pocus I've met previously. So it was like, I started with one of them, like, hey, because we're friends now. Would you be interested? Oh yeah, I'm interested. Right? Yeah, I'm gonna get this person, that person. I'm like, oh my gosh, okay.
And then, he said, well, I'll have my agent call you so we can set up all the schedules and the contracts and that. And the agent calls like, oh, do you want this? Do you want Doug Jones? Do you want?
Yes.
I mean, like, do you want John Ratzenberger? I'm like, yeah, I can't afford John Ratzenberger, I'm sure, but and that's what was so great about it is the celebrities. Because they were told this is new, this is something big in the Disney community, and they're all involved in the Disney community in one way or another through their roles, and they wanted to be a part of that because of that. They thought this was a fantastic idea to bring them closer to the community, and it helps them grow in the community. It helps the characters of theirs grow. When Jason Marthin became one of our friends from Hocus Pocus, Max Goof, everything else he's done, but when his agent called me, he's like, well, you can't have Max Goof without Goofy. He's like, Bill Farmer would love to do the show. We can bring Bill Farmer if you want him there. And I'm like, how would I say no to one of the Fab Five?
Yeah, right, exactly.
And it's so cool, and it's exciting. And from our perspective, we are doing this. The first year is going to be really hard for us. And I've had people ask, like, well, how are you not charging? Like, because you have all these huge, big name guests, but you guys aren't ticket gouging, for lack of a better word. And we just want to break even here and hopefully or close to. And this is for fans. This is because we at the heart of what we do are Disney fans. And so this is a way that other Disney fans can come and get together and have a good time and not break the bank, because there's lots of times, like for us, we like to go to conventions and when we see the prices and stuff, like my friends or staff sometimes don't want to come out and see us at certain expos because it costs too much money, and I tell them stay home. Yeah, we'll work the booth, don't worry about it. But I didn't want anybody to feel that way with us. Like to see what we have and say, it's too much, can't afford it, can't bring my kids because it's not family friendly, whatever. We're trying to, both of us are trying to cover all our bases for that, so that people can just come and have a good time as a community and just kick off the holidays together. So.
Yeah, and one of the best parts of it though was when we decided we want some type of after hours party. Every convention has the after hours party.
I'm up for that.
And we've become really good friends with DJ Elliott over the years. He's been on our show and things like that. And I reached out to him. I said, Elliott, would you be able to do this? And what would you charge for this show? And how would we do it? And he goes, no, I just want to do this. He goes, I'm not going to. I just want to come out there and have a fun party. He goes, let's do Pleasure Island theming. And then he's like, oh, and I can bring the Pizza Planet truck, and we'll have that sitting in the vendor room. He has a replica of the Pizza Planet truck that he takes the shows and stuff like that. So he's bringing that. He's like, we're all in, and he's like, my wife can help run the rooms, and he'll do the party and stuff like that. It's going to be fantastic. And then Mark Daniel hopped on, and Lisa Glaze hopped on to help us with the show because they both worked at Pleasure Island.
Yeah.
So they're both coming in with Comedy Warehouse and Adventurers Club staff from then to come and do things during the party to make it that much more entertaining for the guests who go to it.
You have me at Adventurers Club staff.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That was Mark's idea. When Mark reached out we reached out to Mark and said, would you be involved? We just didn't know if he wanted to MC or anything like that.
Like what he wanted to do.
And so he's like, I need to call you guys. And he called us. He's like, we can do this. He goes, I can reach out to all my old cast member friends at the Adventurers Club, and we can put together Comedy Warehouse. Either we can do a skit, or we can do a Q&A for like 20 minutes or half an hour, or relive some of the great moments of the different clubs and such. I'm like, whatever you want to do. I said, you're the entertainer. You come and do whatever you think is going to be the best, what the people are going to enjoy the most. And we talked to Mark over the weekend. He's so excited about all of this, bringing it all together. So it's awesome.
And what's cool is that how I was just saying about how we want to keep our costs low so that people can come together as a community and have a fun Disney weekend. And what we have found, other like-minded people, like with Mark and Lisa and Elliot, like they don't want anything out of this either, kind of just like us. They just want to be a part of something that's special like that, that we can offer something to the Disney community that everybody can come and have a good time. So we've been really lucky that other people feel the same way that we do with you know, it's not about being, you know, the biggest, the best, whatever. It's more like, let's try this and see what happens, and hopefully everybody has a great time.
Now, I'm very familiar with Gigi Elliott and Mark Daniel, but I'm not overly familiar with Lisa. Maybe explain to the viewers who all three of them are.
Well, Lisa, if you've been to the Frozen sing-along at Hollywood Studios,
okay.
She's one of the Arendelle historians.
The funniest.
The funniest one. It used to be her, and then.
Do you remember Ben?
Yes.
Ben.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she was Ben's sidekick for most of the shows, and then she started doing it with Mark Daniel when he was filling in at the Frozen Sing Along. But I actually interviewed Ben. Reached out to me in 2017 or 18, and he wanted me to come to his house, which, you know, I could have been, you know, killer or something, but he wanted me to come to the house. And he's like, me and Lisa, we follow what you do. We love what you do. Would you want to come to the house and do like a Facebook/Instagram live with us? And I'm like, okay.
Come out for an hour. What happens?
We ended up going for over 2 hours. So I've been friends with them for that long. And I will tell you, Lisa is, I tell her this all the time, she's one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. She was part of the Comedy Warehouse and Adventurers Club, I believe. Yeah. This woman has the best comedic timing. So she's kind of like the little Disney legend in her own right. And she's, like I said, the best historian. And speaking of Ben, he is actually going to be the host for the panel for the two girls that were in Frozen. So Ben is going to come out and host that panel. So yeah, so
nice. Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't know if my wife Kim watching remembers, but we saw the Frozen sing-along at Hollywood Studios when it first started. And Ben, I remember Ben specifically, and I remember saying to her, "This guy's hilarious." And I think Lisa was I think she was part of the original, like when it first started. So it was very funny. Yeah, I think the only reason we left towards the end is because our son Colton was having a hard time when we got out of there, but we were loving it, and yeah, we just laughed the whole time.
And then DJ Elliott, when we get off air, I'll have a really good DJ Elliott story to tell you. But explain who DJ Elliott is.
So DJ Elliott, he actually was a Jungle Cruise skipper back in the day when he started with Disney. That's where he started, and he built himself up to become he loved DJing, and he just started doing that, and then he became one of Disney's top DJs. Frozen Summer Fun, he was the DJ who did that. Star Wars Weekends, he was DJ Lobot. You would see him often out there, and he looked like Lobot.
Frozen Summer Fun when it was going on. Frozen Summer Fun.
Yeah. Some of the things he does though is like George Lucas in Star Wars. He does all the celebration DJing for the Star Wars celebrations worldwide. He's done London Comic Con.
He just got back from a big one.
Yeah, C2E2, New York Comic Con. Oh gosh, which one does he? Emerald City, which is Seattle's big con. He does all the big cons all over the world, doing all their after-hours parties. And he did one in Dubai 2 years ago that they flew him out there to do an after-hours party for a Comic-Con in Dubai.
Wow!
Wow!
How recommended he was, and he owns the DJ company now that Disney uses for a lot of their DJ parties throughout the parks and Disney Springs and such. So a lot of those DJs out there are his people playing his mixes and such.
And he DJ'd at Pleasure Island.
Yes.
So actually, I'll tell you a little secret. So before the world stopped, before COVID, it was the New Year 2020, and he actually asked us to go to lunch because he's, you know, a lot of these guys don't mingle with other like bloggers, whatevers, and you know they like us for whatever reason, and we love them back for that. And he's like, you guys, we should do a party. And I'm like, what kind of party? and he's like, I don't know, like Pleasure Island. And I'm like, yeah. So it was like one of those things that we had talked about doing some sort of event for our followers
before
this whole Expo thing came up. This will be almost 2 years in January. So when the idea of the Expo came up, Elliot's like, let's go to lunch, let's talk. And we had already talked about a party, but we didn't throw an Expo in there with it. So it's kind of like something that came to be well after we even talked about it.
Right. It just worked out. Right. Exactly. It's almost like you're planning a 2-day wedding, you know, like you plan a wedding and it's so much stuff and then leads up to that night and you're exhausted. And then like, you know, the next day you just sit there and talk about everything that like kind of happened and how it happened, but like, you know, afterwards, but it's so much work and stress leading up to it. But then you're there and you have to have fun. Like that's the other thing you have to remember to do. Right.
I hope so.
And then Mark Daniel.
So Mark Daniel he's worked at Comedy Warehouse. He's been a Disney cast member for years. 20-some years, 25, 26 years. He's been a cast member. But he became Disney's live feed host for everything.
Right.
He's also been the host of the Disney Parks parade tapings and stuff like that. So he's the one that keeps the crowd going during the parade tapings and such for Christmas and all those holidays. That's where we met him years ago. We knew of him, but one of the events we met him and got to know him really well. And he's been here. He's been on the show with Michele doing our weekly live. He's been to LOL for us.
He's been my co-host for our live on location at Disney
Yes.
too. So.
Yeah, right.
He's just a great guy. His wife is wonderful.
I love her.
She's great. And they just become really good friends with us. But Mark, he works at the Indiana Jones ride at Hollywood Studios. So he said they're starting to do getting ready for that to reopen. And
Cool.
And Galaxy's he's doing some taping or rehearsing. That's what he said. They're doing rehearsing for Epic. And then he's at Galaxy's Edge also. He works back there, but he's just an overall great guy. He really loves Disney. He loves to share that love with other people.
And he has that great voice.
I was just gonna say he's got an awesome voice. Like it's amazing.
That was his voice in the commercial.
That's his voice on our commercial.
Yeah,
Doing that.
I recognized it right away.
Yeah, and he wanted to do that. So it's so, like I said, it's so great to have these wonderful relationships with people, because when it came to something like this, I think I know at the Expo I'm probably going to cry, because that's just me, because all these people had come together and believe in what we're doing, and they just want to be a part of it. I mean, how special is that? So we're just hoping that it all pulls together. And it's so funny because him and I are like, oh Lord, I hope everything goes well. And everybody around us is like, this is great. This is going to be wonderful. You guys got this. And it's just great to have that kind of a support system, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
So.
The positivity of other people.
Yeah.
That's what's helping.
Yeah. Let's talk about some of the other special guests that you're going to have on. We'll start off with John Ratzenberger, and he signed on very quick, very early.
He really did. He when we first got into this, we were of course talking, who do you want? And I told her, I said, I would love to have John Ratzenberger. I'm a huge Pixar fan. So I thought having John Ratzenberger, he covers so many different films, so many kids know that voice, so many adults know that voice. And then if you go back to the 80s with Cheers and Empire Strikes Back in the early 80s, it's like he's done so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I think he would be a huge draw for people to come, but I want to meet him. I mean, that's the biggest thing. I wanted to meet him.
And I said, there's no way we're going to get John Ratzenberger. Sorry. Just think of somebody else.
So he had the same agent as Larry Bagby, Tobias Jelinek, and Doug Jones. So the agent had reached out to me, and he's like, Scott, would you want him? I'm like,
yeah.
Would you want him?
Maybe.
I said, I would love to. Would he want to? And he told me, he said he already wants to. He wants to be involved. He goes,
all right.
I've already kind of mentioned it to him, and he's interested. If you're interested in having him, I'm like, well, yeah, let's do it. What do we got to do? And we just made it work quickly. And it all came together. It was so wonderful that he was willing to do something like that. Just such a big star to bring to that.
Yeah, we're excited.
That's great. Yeah.
And
he's definitely well known.
Margaret.
Yeah.
I think everybody knows who Margaret is that's watching, but just in case someone doesn't.
She is the original model for Tinkerbell back in the day. And you know what's great about her is that she is just a little firecracker, and she's got some great stories. When I talked to her, it was in August. She was saying that, she's saying stories about Walt Disney, and she's talking about Walt. And for, I'm sure you guys would feel that way too. It's like, it almost feels like a little connection to Walt.
Yeah.
And she's got great stories. So I'm so excited to have her, because she's really just a gem. And when we announced that we were going to have her, everybody was excited, because everyone wants her signature. They want their pictures with Tinkerbell, and we're going to have her do a little panel so that she can share some of her stories with the audience too.
Yeah,
that's
amazing.
pretty amazing.
I'm assuming sorry, David, go ahead.
Yeah, no, I was just saying that's pretty amazing too. It's like, having the ability to talk to somebody that talked to Walt.
Yes.
In Walt's presence, right? Like that kind of, that just gets me, like from a Disney perspective, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that they worked so closely with him, and they knew what he was looking for, how he.
She's talking about Walt, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, like you actually, like we're like talk to him. Like I know it's kind of.
And I've met her at conventions before. She's so fun. Your guests are gonna love me.
They're gonna love her. I can't wait.
She was one of the ones that she, her agent actually, we had met her at Fanboy Expo here a few months back, and that's where we got talking to her. And her agent's the agent who's bringing Marsden Farmer with them, and they reached out and they're like, Margaret wants to be there. Can we get her a place to come? I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not going to tell Tinkerbell no. I'm sorry. She brings the music with her. I am not telling her no.
And she recently got married and moved to Florida, did she not?
Yeah.
Yep. She lives in Florida, and her now husband, they had met years ago.
She told us
went their separate ways, and then they found each other again.
Mm-hmm.
After all these years, after 60-some years, I think she said, they
Wow.
found each other again. And they got married last year, or a year before last, I think it was.
Yeah.
And
she's great.
Yep.
That's amazing.
She was with him at the convention, so we got to meet both of them together. So
Kim is a big Tinkerbell fan and Kim wants to be Tinkerbell at the Magic Kingdom and get shoved out of a window.
Oh, see, Kim, you're brave. I would have a meltdown. They would have to shove me out. Like,
You gotta go.
You know, I've said before, if it meant putting on the costume, I would do it. Throw me out the window. I'll put it on, the whole thing.
yeah, somebody would have to put their foot like on my behind and shove
Plant it right in your back. Like,
I just want to be in that room in the castle that she comes out of. I just think that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's an amazing view. It's
Right.
a tiny window too. Like not
It is.
a lot of people won't fit.
it's not a
through
big
it, yeah.
window.
There's no way I would fit, which is fine.
So then we have Eva Bell and Libby.
Yep.
Was it Starboard Ranch?
Yep. So they played the young Anna and Elsa in the Frozen films. So we just we thought that'd be a great thing. I mean, we'd love to have the other two, Kristen Bell and
and Idina Menzel.
I'm sorry,
But that's
Idina Menzel, yeah.
but you know that's not gonna happen. Not this
Right.
year.
not
but
this year, maybe in the future. Who knows?
Dream big, right? Dream big.
I thought it was really cool to have young Anna and Elsa, and then that's the panel that Ben is going to host.
Right.
Right.
Because we wanted to offer something for everybody, so maybe like the little girls that come, you know, they could go to the Frozen panel, and then the parents would enjoy it because Ben is funny. So you know, it kind of works for everybody.
It does. And I think it'll be a good panel hearing them talk about just the filming process to create such a blockbuster film and what it became.
Oh yeah.
With that.
I follow Ben on Instagram too, and he's got to be a hoot to hang out with.
Oh,
No, I'm assuming there's going to be like autograph lines for all the celebrities.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
We
and
have
autograph
we have
tables.
one room set up for all of them to be in there for their autographs, and you'll be able to do photos at their booth, or there will be a
photo op
op
station
booth
type
actually
of
where
thing.
they'll be in there certain times throughout the weekend. You can go in there and get a professional photo where they'll take it, they print it off and give it to you right there. And actually, some people get those autographed right after they take the photo.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, and was it children or I know that you put something out that children are free, right?
12 and under are free
12
with
and under?
adult admission. Yeah.
Exactly. So we wanted to do that because a lot of these places they charge so much for the kids that go, and I'm like, don't do that. I mean, so many people. You have 3 or 4 kids, and by the time that adds up, $20, even $20 a piece, you're spending
kids
a
are
fortune
expensive.
for that.
If you might want to go and you're not sure how much the kids are going to get out of it or whatever.
Right.
So you can bring your kids and you don't feel like you wasted money. Can I say that?
Right. And I'd rather you have that money to spend on your kids there, because they're going to watch things. They're going to walk around. They're going to see things they want, or see they want to autograph with Tinkerbell, or they want to.
Right.
Or Boo Stewart from The Descendants. I mean, you're going to bring.
Yeah, well, that exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
And you've got vendors and stuff too, so there might be something there that they want, right?
Exactly.
And all our
Yeah.
vendors have a Disney theme of some sort. Like everything at this convention, that was the one requirement. Well, 2. Everything has to be family friendly, and it has to be Pixar, Disney, Star Wars, or Marvel. I mean, we don't have anime, we don't have like Harry Potter. It's Disney. It's
Right.
classic.
Yeah.
Right.
So Craig Skaggs is going to be there. We know we've had Craig on here, and Stan is friends with Craig, right? Jason, he's been
Look
on
at one of his
a lot
paintings
our
right
shows.
here.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, we've had him on here a couple times.
Which way are you, this way?
Yeah.
Great guy.
That's really cool.
Panda's going to be there as well, right?
Yes, Panda will be there. Panda's gonna have his booth with he's gonna be selling his wax.
He's going to be selling Scentsy.
Oh, we're going to need more wax.
I told him, I said, you need Panda merchandise. I said, you need stuff that says Big Fat Panda on it, because people would want that.
But he's selling wax.
They sell his wax, so
I've been telling him I would buy a shirt. I want a Big Fat Panda shirt. He's like, oh, they're coming back. They're coming back.
I'm actually working with him to create the Big Fat Panda hockey jerseys because he's wearing the jerseys.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah,
We've
I
been
know.
talking about this forever. It's just a matter of putting it together.
And I've
As
been
soon as they're available, I want one.
Yeah.
Yes. Those are coming. I've actually sent him the mock-up already of it, so we're working to get that done for him as well.
Yeah. He was wearing, I think he was wearing the Darth Vader jersey the day we met him at Epcot when we were there in July.
He wears our jerseys all the time.
Yeah, he wears
He
the
loves
Boba
them.
Fett one an awful lot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. He said he loves them because he said, as a big guy, Disney doesn't cater to anybody over a 2. Sometimes you find a 3X, but if you're over a 2X, they don't have anything that fits comfortably.
No.
And when I came out with the jerseys, and he's like, "Are you gonna make them big?" And I make them up to a goalie 2X, which is I actually have a friend who plays hockey in his every week, and he's out there and it holds up and no rips, no tears. And I wanted something that even if a goalie wanted to wear it over their pads, it would fit.
It would fit.
Right. I was gonna say. Yeah, I thought I laughed because I thought of who was that actor, fat guy in a little coat. Like Disney doesn't make things for big people.
That's why I just make my own shirts. So.
Right, exactly.
You kind of have to.
What sizing is it?
Walking around the park in a schmedium, you know.
You get 3 mediums and you just staple them together.
Exactly. You cut it down, and duct tape holds it all together. You're good to go.
StarWars.com used to sell hockey jerseys, and I ordered a Darth Vader hockey jersey on Black Friday, but I guess I had to log out and then log back in, and by that time it was empty, so I had to get a 3X or a goalie size. Well, that thing could fit over my fridge when it came.
Oh, I bet.
It was huge.
And that's
Still shrinking it.
It's a car cover.
Yeah, when John first asked me about it, he's like, "Oh, I need the biggest one you have." And I'm like, "No, you don't." He's like, "Yeah, I do." I said, "Okay, here you go." And I gave it to him. He put it on. He goes, "Scott, it's too big." I said, "I warned you. I knew how big it was."
Yeah.
But we catered no matter what size we were at. When we were at the last Expo, we did. Some guy came up. He goes, "You don't have anything that can fit me." And I said, "I bet you I do." And I pulled out one. He tried it out right there. He didn't even take it off. He just handed me the money. He said, "Take it."
That was it. Yeah.
He wanted a card where he could get more of them, and he wrote off. He walked away with that one on. He loved it that much. So it was fantastic.
Nice.
Now this next picture I got, David, I'm not sure is this. What is this?
Well,
I just put that out this week.
yeah, I was all over that. I was on everything today, putting pictures. Yeah.
Great.
You guys were on it. I'm like, oh, somebody is seeing my social media. That's awesome.
I was stalking the sites today.
Please walk away. Okay, so this is my friend Tobias, who was one of the bullies in Hocus Pocus. It's Tobias Jelinek. He was Jay, as of Jay and Ice, and Larry was Ice with the ice shaved in the back of his head. But so Tobias was on CSI, the new reboot of CSI Las Vegas. He was the bad guy in Thursday night's episode.
Oh, so, nice.
Yeah, so he posted that, and of course I grabbed it, and then I messaged him, and he's really excited about the Expo too. But I thought, what timing? I mean, and it looks like, I didn't ask him, I'm going to ask him though, that character is going to be a recurring role on CSI. He was very Hannibal Lecter meets Christian Slater, if you can.
Yeah, he's a little creepy in this picture. You know, he's good looking, but yet at the same time, you're kind of scared because it's like, what's he?
I'm kind of getting a Joker vibe from
yes,
him.
Right, it gives Joker vibes.
Yeah.
Well, and the episode was all about like creepy clown stuff, like killer clown.
There you go.
Yeah. So, but he was also the bad guy in the last season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that was on.
Yeah, I know a lot of people that like that show.
And he was in Stranger Things.
And Stranger Things.
So not Disney, but he was also in
Stranger
Things.
But I love him for Hocus Pocus because I'm a diehard Hocus Pocus nerd at heart.
So Hocus Pocus or Tangled? Like, which is, are you because I know you like Tangled, right?
That's
it's a tough pick.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We asked the tough questions here.
Okay, so like Rapunzel is my spirit princess, and just to be sappy and sentimental, because her story is all about leaving your comfort zone. That's why I resonate with her. So like I've written 3 books, and all 3 of my books use Tangled font on the cover. So I have like little Tangled things everywhere. Lost Princess apparel. Rapunzel was the Lost Princess. So I have like little bits of Tangled everywhere. I have Tangled tattoos, and everyone's like, "Oh, Miss Michelle's a goody goody. She has tattoos." I do.
Yeah.
But she's my girl. So, but
Yeah.
Hocus Pocus is one of those nostalgic movies. I think we all have our favorites that remind you of younger and when you first saw these things. And like for Hocus Pocus, I've told Jason Mars and I've told Larry Antobias, I said, well, the coolest thing about Hocus Pocus is that it's timeless and our kids see it. There's kids that, today that are seeing it for the first time and it doesn't look old. It doesn't age, I guess you could say.
Right.
So,
Donald's saying, ask you about your Tangled bathroom. Well, there's a Tangled bathroom in Magic Kingdom.
We have one in our house.
Oh, in your house. No.
okay, so I really like the bathroom.
Are there hidden lizards all over the place?
This is like the unicorn room in Dodgeball when
Not that bad.
Maybe one day it could be that way. But
It's getting there.
But I do have a Tangled bathroom, and my friend Joe Diebold, he's a photographer, and he actually, when we moved into this house, he printed off, had a picture made for me of the Tangled restrooms, and it's over my doorway in the bathroom. So
it's a very nice restroom area there, I think, and I love Tangled. We watch it all the time, and if it's on like Freeform or something, it's on because it's hilarious. I think
it was
it's
on
like
yesterday.
it's so funny. It's such a great story, and I think aside from Lilo and Stitch, it's probably my second
I
favorite.
love that too.
Yeah.
awesome.
But-
Definitely one of our favorites.
Yeah, but anyway, like with Hocus Pocus, I think it's really cool that, especially now that they're making part 2 and Doug Jones is in part 2. The timing was great. The timing was great.
And an interesting story. So Doug Jones, of course, Billy Butcherson from Hocus Pocus, but he's done so many other films.
Things.
I used the Silver Surfer because he did play the Silver Surfer in the Fantastic Four. Those Fantastic Four movies were the best ones. But he's still in there as a Silver Surfer. He's also in the current Star Trek Discovery on CBS right now. And the funny thing is when I talked to the agent and we were like, we want to get Doug Jones, the agent called me back like 2 hours later. He goes, okay, I called Doug on the set and he was in full makeup and he agreed to do the Expo. And it's just, I'm like, you're kidding me, right? I'm like, how is this happening? How is everybody agreeing?
Like Doug Jones is on the set of his TV show and he's like, yeah, I'll do their Expo. What?
Yeah.
And
his hit TV show,
And
Very
everybody
cool.
I talked to says Doug Jones is
the
the
nicest.
nicest guy on earth. They said he will take his time with every fan who comes up to him. He will talk to them about things. He just loves to interact with his fans. And interesting when we were going through and trying to figure out stuff about him. If you remember in the late 80s, I think it was, the McDonald's Mac the Night commercials with the he was Mac the Night. He was
Get out.
Oh,
Wow.
So he gets his body, he conforms to some of these costumes that I don't think any other actor could do, and it's just amazing that they don't CGI the things he actually does because he gets in these costumes that it's unbelievable.
Thanks, Don.
Everyone pays attention to Donnie and Marie.
There's your reunion.
Yeah, so these are really cool. I like how there's a couple of the slides here with the pictures of the the folks that are going to be there. And so it's a reunion. Like you're having the Goof movie reunion, and you're having the Hocus Pocus reunion. So that's very neat.
Yeah, I'm hosting that one for sure. And it's so funny because a lot of people had asked about, especially the Hocus Pocus reunion. They asked if it was an extra charge for that, or if only VIPs got to go to that. No extra charge, and everybody gets to go to the panels. It's not like one of those things where like you have to
hit capacity.
Yeah, as long as there's enough room in the panel room. But,
I was going to ask about that. Yeah, so are the panel rooms?
Yeah,
ahead,
people are excited about that one, and I'm excited about that one. I'm going to total fangirl, but I'm going to try to hold it together until it's over. So.
Oh yeah, because you're geeking out, and yet this is your expo, but you guys are still geeking out over who you're having, which is very cool.
And a lot of these guys want to go to the party afterwards, so I mean, I think I'll be cool by the party. That'd be all right.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Are the panel rooms going to be very large, or is it going to be?
They're thinking we should have roughly 150 seats in each one of them because they are spreading give a little bit of space due to COVID. Not that the restrictions in Florida are really lifting.
Kind of at your discretion.
Your discretion.
Right.
But they didn't want to make it so tight in there that people felt uncomfortable. So they did get a little bit space. But they're saying between 125 and 150, they should be able to get into each of our panel rooms. We're having 2 panel rooms running the whole weekend. With different things, and then I think those are going to be great. I think that's the one thing we're trying to work on, how we want to record and possibly if we can even stream them somehow on our Facebook
so that people
pages,
can watch the panels at home.
Yeah.
People who can't come.
That'd be very cool.
Yeah, I've been to cons where you have to get in line for a panel like at 2 a.m.
Yeah.
You're to San Diego Comic-Con, you're sleeping outside overnight to get in the Marvel.
Mm-hmm. Done that. Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
Been there, done that.
Doing that at our expo. I mean, I'm just hoping people come
They're
to the panels.
Give it a couple of years though. That'll probably be you in a few years.
Yeah.
I hope so. That'd be great.
I'm trying to figure out in my mind how I can ditch my in-laws coming in for Thanksgiving to fly out for a day.
Take them with you.
Here for it to help us out.
My parents are coming in from Michigan to help because what we do has always been a family business. And now I'm recruiting my parents because, like I said, my mom's a retired teacher. She knows math. I don't. So she can, to help with the tickets and the money and stuff like that. And then my dad, my dad likes to do the, walking around the organization and whatever else. And I'm putting my teenagers to work. So it's and we have friends coming to town. So it really is a family and friends thing. So it's got a lot of heart behind it. And we're just hoping everything goes well.
Yeah.
And there they are, Bill and Jason.
Yeah, this is very cool. I got to interview Bill when I was with Mousecast, which was a podcast a while ago. And he was great, man. We just sat back and let him talk and listen to him.
I'm sure he's got some great stories.
Yeah. And his voice is so cool. And when he does characters and you're just you don't see his face. And we were listening to him while we were recording. And it was just very, very cool.
Michele got to meet him a couple years ago at Destination D. She actually met him and Brett I when they were together.
Yeah.
And they started talking as Mickey and Goofy back and forth.
Yeah. I'm sitting in this little press room and I'm, when you're doing your job, you have to hold it together. And so you're fangirling on the inside.
Right.
And I'm sitting here going, oh my God, it's Mickey and it's Goofy and they're talking right in front of me. But I got let's hold it in until
be cool.
A funny story though was with Jason Marsden. So we met him in Huntsville.
You're gonna embarrass me.
Yeah, I am.
All right.
So we were in Huntsville, Alabama, my friend's expo last year. We met Jason. We walked up to him. I'm a Funko Pop collector, and I had the Max Goof Funko Pop. So I was going to get his signed. And she, of course, because he was Binks' voice in Hocus Pocus. So we walk up to him, and I'm like, oh, it's an honor to meet you. She's a huge Binks fan. And he instantly went right into Binks' voice. Like that. She started fangirling out, and she was like, oh, my God, I can't believe he did this. And he actually ended up recording a little audio tape of just the Main Street Mouse for us. He did that for us. Just, hi, this is Jason Marsden. You know me as Binks and Max. And he did the voices on the recording, and you're listening to the Main Street Mouse. It was really fun that he was able to, he's such a great guy. And he was at another expo we worked last year. He came over to our booth while he was there. He just walked over and came and seen us while we were sitting there, which was just fantastic.
And I recorded a video with him. I posted it today. It's Jason and I from the summertime. Yeah. But he's really cool. And I did freak out a little bit. So when you see me freak out on that video, that's a second freak out because I told him, I said, if you start talking Binksy to me, I'm going to freak out. Seriously. And so he's like, oh, Hallows Eve. And he's talking, and he had the stuffed cat. And I'm like, oh my God, you brought the cat? And I'm I can't. I just can't.
Were you tempted to be here's my cell phone, record an outgoing voicemail?
Just say something. And he did, you're listening to the Main Street Mouse, and he said it in all Binksy. And it's so cool. But anyway, all right.
And he goes, it's a mouse. Well, I am a cat. So, and then it's really cool the way he did. He's such a great guy. He's just so down to earth.
It's going to be fun. These guys are fun. I mean, I'm looking forward to spending the weekend with them. So.
Yeah, that Pleasure Island night is probably going to be a blast too. I bet it's going to be a good time. I think Jason is online right now booking a flight.
I see his face. Not be trying to figure out how to ditch my in-laws for Thanksgiving and come out for a day.
Bring him with you.
Bring him with you.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think Kim needs to figure this out too. I mean,
Kim cannot go without me though. We're a package.
Okay, then you come too.
Yeah. We'll bring
okay, you got 2 weeks to come up with a plan. You can do it.
Sure. Hey, Colton turned 13 the other day. We can leave him at home now.
There you go. According to Disney, he's an adult.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm looking at your website. I have 13 days, 13 hours, and 59 minutes to figure this out.
The
Okay,
book it.
you get to work. You do it.
RJ said,
Hey, yes. Come and hang out with
do it. How do folks get a Pleasure Island pin? Like, is this, are they, if you go to the event, how does that happen?
Actually, we're going to be selling. We have collector's pins. There's like a limited edition. Aren't they like? What you got? 100.
We only had 100 of them, and actually we have 99 because I kept one.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And I have to give one to Jason Marsden, so we have 98.
There you go.
So
Well, now you just said that everybody else is going to want it.
we're going to be selling the pins at the expo.
Nice.
T-shirts and what else?
We got the cozies that have the logo on it, so we have those print. We didn't want to buy because we had people. Are you going to have merchandise with the logo on it? I'm like, well, I don't want to buy too much because I don't know what people want. I mean, we have no.
And we don't want to be
experience
stuck with 100 shirts.
Yeah, so we bought a handful of shirts. We bought the pins. We also did the logo for House of Mouse in the pin. Which I've already had a lot of people say, I want one of those. How can I get one? I'm like, well, if you come to the expo,
Come to the expo.
Come to the expo, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to come buy a ticket for the expo. And then
Trying to entice people, you know, you want to come to the show.
Definitely. Yeah, you never know if you're going to have too many or not enough or like.
It's true. It is
Yeah.
true.
And that's what we didn't want to get stuck with stuff. So we're trying to watch what we put the date on as opposed to what because if we didn't put the date on, it's something we can always use for later expo.
It's trial and error. So we're trying to figure all this out this year so that if, you know, we can do this again next year, God willing, that we know exactly or better what to do.
Right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
So weekend passes are only $35. It's November 27th to 28th. A short Uber drive from Walt Disney World if you're going to be at Walt Disney World. Are VIP passes still available?
Those actually are. We actually stopped selling those just because with the VIP pass you're getting a VIP shirt and lanyard, and we had to stop it so we can make sure we
had to order all
Oh,
the these for the VIPs, but
Okay.
so you can still come for the weekend. You're just not going to get the swag, but it's only $35. So.
Yeah, that's the only real difference. And then you get like priority seating for a VIP as opposed to. I think there'll be plenty of seating, so it won't matter.
We should be good.
Yeah. So NBC Suites, Lake Buena Vista. This sounds like a blast.
It does.
Geez, I'm
Yeah.
really tempted to.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm really
there's
trying to figure out how I can not ruin the Thanksgiving holiday by dishing it.
Yeah.
Plus, you get to meet Craig Skaggs.
Right, true. Yeah, exactly. You can meet Craig Skaggs, you can meet Panda,
Yeah.
you can meet Scott and Michelle and everybody else. I mean, there's going to be stars there that we didn't even mention. Like so there's a couple in the promo that we didn't even like highlight. So there's I never say his name. Boo Boo Stewart from Descendants. Yes.
Yes, and he was also in the Twilight Saga as well as the X-Men. He was in one of the X-Men films.
Right.
And I talked to him when I actually got to run his panel in Birmingham when we met him a couple years back, and talking to him about that and everything. And he's hoping that eventually his X-Men character does come into the Marvel universe with Disney. So
and he's super nice.
Such
I
a
interviewed him previously. He's such a nice guy, and he takes time with his fans. And he's going to have a lot of teenage girls.
I was just gonna say that. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But he's very sweet, very nice guy.
such a nice guy, so down to earth.
Yeah.
Right.
Are you anticipating a lot of cosplayers to come in costume?
Well, we're having a costume contest on Sunday.
Good. Perfect.
Yeah.
But my only stipulation, again, it has to be family friendly,
Yeah.
and it has to be Disney. Because you go to some. Okay, I'm just gonna say it. I go to some of these conventions and I don't know what half of these costumes are. I see things that I want to cover my kids' faces, and I don't want that at ours.
Right.
We want
Yeah.
we have Boo Boo Stewart there and the Frozen Girls and like family friendly, wholesome stuff. Maybe not so much the Pleasure Island party, but that's an adult party. But like during
That's a different story.
Yeah.
right? Like during the day, let's everybody behave. So as long as everybody is family friendly, and it's under the Disney window somewhere,
Right.
yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And one other thing I want to mention really quick too is Give Kids the World will actually be there represented with a booth, except for the stuff for Give Kids World. And actually, I talked to Omar who runs all their stuff over there, and he's actually trying to get some of the WWE NXT wrestlers who help at Give Kids World to come to the event and be there as well.
Wow.
So,
That'd be cool.
So
That'd be very cool.
We don't even know who. He said he's got some that are lined up to come, but he won't tell me who. So he said,
surprise.
Yeah, it's gonna be.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Surprise. Yeah. So, but Omar's been great, and he's one of the ones who's been behind us, telling us this is going to grow faster than you guys can imagine. He goes, you guys are going to need a bigger facility. You're going to need a lot more guys. You're going to need a lot bigger crew to work this in the future. He's really, really positive about it. And he thinks it could really become something huge.
And it's great to have Give Kids the World on as one of our media partners because they do such wonderful things for deserving families. And we're just really happy that they're part of what we're doing too.
Give Kids the World is an amazing, amazing organization. You can't say enough good things about them. So yeah, that's great that they're involved, and also that there's going to be some WWE guys there that can bounce at the Pleasure Island event.
Exactly.
Somebody gets out of control. You know?
That's a really good idea. I didn't think about that.
They can work the door.
Somebody gets online. Come through a wall. See what we can do.
Don't look for anybody through a wall.
You know how much.
You know, if someone shows up on a vine, I could pick them up and just toss them right
People
out.
pay good money to be thrown through a wall.
Right?
If that went viral, everybody
will want to come next year. If it,
Right.
see somebody get body slammed through a table or whatever. I mean, everybody will come next year.
I
would
volunteer.
be me. Yeah, exactly. That would be me.
So to get your tickets, you want to go to houseofhouseexpo.com.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a lot there, and you can determine if you want to buy weekend or you can even buy just Saturday or Sunday. I think
Day pass.
it's is it 25 for Saturday and I think 15 for Sunday, or maybe it's 20. I can't remember offhand. But
Whatever it is, it's not expensive.
Yeah.
It's a little bit more than buying the weekend pass, but you can just buy the single day.
When you consider the Disney Halloween or Christmas party is what, $200 for 3 hours, and this is the whole weekend for $35.
Get the whole weekend. You've got a whole weekend's worth of entertainment. You can come, you can go as much as you like.
They're going to be giving hot chocolate and snickerdoodles here too. Listen, I mean, it's you know, and also so you can go to House of Mouse Expo on Facebook and social media, but you could also get to there from the Main Street Mouse as well. So whether you look at the Main Street Mouse or House of Mouse Expo, you'll find information on the House of Mouse Expo.
Yes, and I've been sharing on Main Street Mouse's social media. I've been trying to put as much there as I can without being obnoxious about the House of Mouse Expo too. So you'll be able to see it.
Yeah.
And if you're local here, you might see our commercial running on local.
Yeah, we have a
TV.
commercial running on
you played
local.
At the beginning. We have that running on local television here, all through Central Florida, all through this month. So just trying. That's the hardest thing with this whole thing. Honestly, has been getting the word out about it, just because Facebook makes it very hard to share anything without giving them a lot of money. And so we've been fortunate that we have enough friends or enough people who like what we do that they're like, let me share it, let me tell people about it, let me get this out
right
there. And that's what's been the greatest thing, that the outpouring of support from others in the community has just been fantastic.
That's the thing about the community too. Like, we are doing Disney and we love Disney, so that's why we wanted to have you on here, and like hopefully some people that watch the show or are part of the group can learn about it, and if they're in the area, they can attend or even like become a part of the Main Street Mouse. So I think
that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, we're happy to have you guys on. I don't know if it was a little bit different being on the other side of like not asking the questions or not having the event,
No, this actually was a lot of fun. We've been so busy, and this was kind of a nice break for us to stop stressing and to be able to talk about the expo and have fun talking about it.
Right, enjoy it.
Yeah, so I really appreciate you guys having us, and
No problem.
if you guys need anything from us or ever want us to come back to chat, we totally
Yeah, definitely.
And hopefully 2022's expo, we can get on early and talk about that.
Hopefully.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And so you might be live streaming some of the stuff from the expo.
Yeah, we're gonna figure out some way to do it. We're talking our Michelle's assistant Sean, actually, he's helping me figure out how we can get all that going and make sure that because we need to share it. I know the more people that see it, the more interest there'll be for future years. And that's one thing I found, is that a lot of people in the Disney community don't understand how an expo or a convention actually works. They haven't been in comic conventions or something like that, so they don't get the whole gist that there is. The people that understand, you go to the celebrities and you meet them and you get your autograph from them and you go get a photo or whatever. So we've had a little bit of a learning curve there with some of the people trying to teach them.
Really surprised how many Disney folks don't realize what conventions are about. They think it's all about comic books and whatever else.
Right.
We've kind of had to. So we're breaking everybody in as we're doing this too. If we didn't work conventions for our friends that owned them, then I probably wouldn't have known either. So that's why we're like, okay, this is what we're trying as best we can to explain everything and what it's going to be about. So.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, and Kim's saying, please share. Yeah. So either I know you guys are going to be busy, but if you want, when you go live, we can share it into like Now That's Disney or whatever, if that's okay. So.
Of course, and you're always welcome to grab anything off our social media or anything you want. Please feel free. It's fine because we really appreciate word of mouth is how we grew the Main Street Mouse. So this will grow this too, and we're so thankful for everybody who's been behind us, and thank you guys.
Awesome. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
Yeah. And if you need anything from us, I mean, we got the solo show, we got the Grand Circle Tour as well that can help out with anything you need as well.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
No problem.
Thank you.
Alrighty. Don't forget the tip of the week. Where was it?
Our deal of the week was an Animal Kingdom.
Sorry, deal of the week?
Yeah, that's all right. Tip of the week, deal of the week. We'll come up with a new jingle next week.
Where am I? Which show am I on?
It all just bleeds together after a while.
Yeah. Yeah, make sure you guys get in touch with Scott at dvc-rental.com for that. And check out deepmagicworld.com, please.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Have a great week. We'll see you next Saturday.
Next Saturday. Love you guys.
Bye-bye now.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Mouse Expo is the ultimate Disney fan event coming to Orlando, and it includes some of your favorite Disney stars. This includes Boo Boo Stewart from Descendants, a Hocus Pocus reunion featuring Doug Jones, Jason Marsden, Tobias Jelnick, and Larry Bagby. Pixar film star John Ratzenberger and Bill Farmer. This event also includes panels, photo ops, a costume contest, over 80 vendors, and much more. House of Mouse Expo will take place November 27th and 28th. Tickets now on sale at houseofmouseexpo.com.